It's definitely the longest off season ever. It sort of seems like it was 5 years ago that I was at the 107th Grey Cup. Hi there, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And finally, I've been looking forward to at least getting an answer to what the heck is going to happen in the Canadian Football League in terms of having football in the 2021 season. Well, to follow up the return to play plan that was announced back in April, that the season was planned to not start until August 5th. Well, ultimately, the Players Association ratified the CBA, and the Board of Governors actually unanimously approved the return to the plan, and all the health authorities and the government for all the provinces that the CFL operate in. So yes, we are going to have football in 2021. Yes, definitely very, very excited about that. We definitely missed it in 2020, with the ongoing global pandemic with COVID-19, and that's not being able to find a resolution to be able to have a season that was practical and safe. Or even then, it just still seemed pretty bad that the federal government denied funding, as the league was only asking for $30 million to have that bubble model in Winnipeg last year. But with all the other leagues still operating throughout the world, I should say, and I mean the numbers are actually going in the right direction for the cases and people getting fully vaccinated and even getting 2 doses. And this guy later this week, as of this recording, will actually get his 2nd dose, so I'll be fully vaccinated for the end of July. So bring on some football and go Stamps go. I definitely missed it, and I'm going to say I'm not going to feel like I'm going to start recovering mentally from all this the last year and a half. Really, it's only been a year and a half. It's been 5 years, it seems like it, where it's gone by in dog years. So let's just take a look at the story, shall we, from the CFL. As it says, the CFL's comeback season is a go, in quotation marks, as they unanimously approved. It is going to be that 14-game schedule, as was originally released in the return plan that was announced back in April, where the game season will start on August 5th, Thursday night. And then eventually it'll all conclude 3 weeks later than originally scheduled, on Sunday, December 12th, in Hamilton, Ontario, for the 108th Grey Cup. And I also know that the 109th Grey Cup will be in Saskatchewan next year in 2022, because Saskatchewan was originally scheduled to get the original 108th Grey Cup until, shit happened and COVID happened. But it's definitely exciting to say that, as Artie Bozy says, this is an exciting day for Canadian football and Canada itself. Says Commissioner, thank the fans. Thank you. Players, coaches, and partners for their incredible support and patience that we worked through towards this day. Oh boy, definitely. Can't emphasize that enough in trying to stay steam. But as I said, the league told fans back in April, is following up, that they were selling on August 5th, but that was the plan. But it's now becoming a reality, is that everything was on hiatus with the COVID-19, and ultimately the opening day on August 5th. So what do you think of getting 14 games? And I mean, we're still sacrificing the little that, as of this recording, should have had the home opener for the 2021 season, but it won't start till August 5th and end it 3 weeks later. A lot of the prime summer days are going to be gone before the season starts. But it's, at least it's back. It's going to be much cooler, but it's better than not having any football at all. But I'll put this link in the description below. But I know that the other thing with the CFL, I know it's not as big as the other major leagues, but there were definitely a lot of rumors and speculations on, this team saying, we don't want to play again, or all that stuff. And then, ultimately, this is the right decision, just because of, if the league wants to continue, existing. Especially with not having fans in last season, but it's definitely needed for just to keep the product going. There was off-season business still kept going on with, free agent frenzy and the global draft and the Canadian college draft. I had to think there for a sec, but it's definitely exciting. I'm definitely thrilled. There is going to be football this season. Waited a long time for it. It's been 21 months. I mean, I'm half joking when I say it seemed like it was 5 years ago that it was the 107th Grey Cup when you had the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defeating the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I can only imagine how Bo feels, our quarterback, when he definitely had his worst game. He said he had his worst game in professional football. Knowing the kind of player and person that Bo Levi Mitchell is, that's probably been aching at him too, to finally have a game to move on from that. But yeah, football's back August 5th, and now the other piece of it is that it was the Monday that they announced it was a go, and then the schedule came out. And I'm a Stampeder fan, and that's the team I follow. There's still details to be determined on tickets. I'm not going to make a separate video about what I might touch upon it maybe on a future CFL story. I guess this also means that in August I'll be back with my Calgary Stampeders this month. Remember when I did that? I guess I'll do season 3. I know I did a no season edition, but we'll do a season 3 as with actual games. So I guess in August we'll start that. But August 5th is when it starts, which is a Thursday night, and it's going to have the Grey Cup rematch. We have the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But for the Calgary Stampeders, I am definitely looking forward to August 7th, Saturday, August 7th. As actually Calgary starts off the season with 3 home games in August. As they start off on Saturday, August the 7th. They host the Toronto Argonauts at 5 p.m. kickoff, and the Toronto Argonauts are definitely going to have a lot of familiar faces because there's definitely a lot of former Stampeders that's going to be on the Toronto Argonauts. And I guess, this will be a treat for me that I'll watch the warm-up. I'm going to hopefully maybe get Josh Bell's attention. I waited too long to not see him dance the warm-up. At least I'll get to see Josh Bell because he is on the Toronto Argonauts coaching staff. But we'll get to play the Toronto Argonauts first. And I think I saw Fast Facts that this is the first time in 10 years that actually the Calgary Stampeders open up their season against the Toronto Argonauts. And then they play the BC Lions on August 12th. And then they play the Montreal Alouettes on August 20th. So those are the first 3 games of the season will be at home for Calgary. And then August 29th, it will be the first road game, and definitely seek some revenge for the Calgary Stampeders, as it will be in Winnipeg, as it'll be a 7:30 kickoff for the BC and Montreal game. I know the one game is a Thursday night game, so I have to see how I can make that work. I guess now with working at home, maybe I'll work at home the next day, but those are the first 3 games. But August 29th, the Calgary Stampeders will be taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Definitely seeking some revenge on Winnipeg. They spoiled the dream season, I guess, 5 years ago, or in 2019 when Calgary hosted the Grey Cup. And then September 6th, the new tradition, old tradition with a new tradition, as the Calgary Stampeders are now going to be going elk hunting as the Edmonton Elks. Remember, they changed their name. I made a video about my take on the new name. They picked the right name given the circumstances, so that'll be a 2:30 kickoff. So we'll go elk hunting on September 6th, and then September 11th, 9/11, which is on a Saturday this year, we'll be up in Edmonton to continue to do some more elk hunting with the Edmonton Elks. That'll be a 5 p.m. kickoff, and I do plan to pack my red and head up to QE2 to continue elk hunting up there. But I'm definitely just glad that, see all the fans again. Hopefully, maybe the fans that are sitting here and on the east side will be back. And even just, even the green fans. I'm definitely going to be glad to be back. Even the green ones that cheer for the Rough Riders, which is still later in the season. We'll get to play the Rough Riders. And then Calgary goes to Hamilton on September 17th. That'll be a 5 p.m. kickoff in Hamilton. So it looks like Calgary has Toronto and Montreal. They come here. And I know that the schedule also kind of has the COVID travel restrictions. We get to see Toronto and Montreal, but we will not get to see Hamilton or Ottawa because Calgary gets to go to there. So then the first time actually Calgary doesn't get to play Saskatchewan will not be until October 2nd. The first one's at home. That'll be a 5 p.m. kickoff. And then the following week, on October 9th, the Calgary Stampeders will be in Saskatchewan. That'll be a 5 p.m. kickoff, and then they'll be in BC on October 16th. That'll be 5 p.m. kickoff, and then Calgary has Saskatchewan again at home. So we got 3 games against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I guess they're trying to keep the travel close because I see 3 BC Lion logos, 3 Saskatchewan Roughrider logos, and then I knew the 2 games at least against the Edmonton Elks because of the Labor Day. It's October 23rd. Ooh, 7:45 kickoff. There must be another game that night that Calgary will host the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And on October 29th, the Calgary Stampeders go to Ottawa. That'll be a 5 p.m. kickoff. And then they have a bye. I guess each team have 2 byes. So each team gets 2 bye weeks. So the October 29th, Calgary will be in Ottawa. 5 p.m. kickoff. And then November 12th will be the last road game. That would be a 8:30 kickoff. And then the last game is actually at home. November 20th, and actually is the day before the original scheduled date of the Grey Cup. Calgary hosts the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at 5 p.m. kickoff. So it's going to be dark by then, but it's no different than the Grey Cup starting at 4 o'clock. But people say it's going to be cold, and well, you just never know. I mean, here in Calgary, it could be 30 degrees, in October, or it could be minus 20 in October. So it's the crazy schedules, but that's the quick touch on the Calgary Stampeders schedule. I guess we'll also take a look at all the other teams' first games that we'll have in the 2021 comeback season. I mean, I'm just glad that we have football again. I'll bring up the CFL app. As you already know, that the Grey Cup rematch will happen on the Thursday, August 5th, 6:30 kickoff. That'll be Hamilton in Winnipeg. And then the next game, Friday, August the 6th for Friday Night Football. You got the BC Lions in Saskatchewan. That'll be 7:30 kickoff. And then the Saturday will be the doubleheader. Is that Saturday, August 7th? You have the Toronto Argonauts here in Calgary. It's a 5 p.m. kickoff. And then the later game on Saturday, August 7th, you have the Ottawa Redblacks at the Edmonton Elks. 8 p.m. kickoff. And then the Montreal Alouettes have their first week bye. So the first game for the Montreal Alouettes, if you're an Alouettes fan watching this, you're going to have to wait till Saturday, August the 14th, as the Montreal Alouettes will be in Edmonton against the Edmonton Elks for a 5 p.m. kickoff. So those are the first games for all the 9 teams in the rest of the league. But I'm just glad we're back. That's all I can say. And they had to come back and just to exist. I mean, if you had another season, I don't think the league would have survived because you have no revenue coming in. I know there's still those rumors about the XFL potentially, and I'm still open for that. Just potentially, to have more exposure for both leagues. Trying to maybe mix the talent. Maybe have a player that can maybe make a little more money if they were willing to play in both leagues, because usually the XFL happens in the spring and then the CFL happens in the summer, and then there's rumors that it would be 2022, so who knows? Maybe Saskatchewan will host this game with the Grey Cup. Apparently there's going to be a championship game or some kind of game where you have the XFL and the CFL champion play, and not too sure how they'll figure out the rules, but these are all just rumors and speculations. All I'm just saying is I'm just glad that football is back. I'm definitely looking forward to August Yes. I guess that's the new hashtag, I should say, for the CFL. So I just say, what do you think of it with the 14-game regular season? I mean, it's going to be pushed off a little later, 3 weeks later for the Grey Cup. I guess the other thing I'll touch upon that I think it's not set in stone yet. There won't be any exhibition, so there won't be any preseason. However, at least here in Calgary, there has been word that the Stampeders and Elks were looking to have a scrimmage, but they need approval from the league because I think it's not just something that the Stamps and Elks can just say, hey, let's just have a scrimmage, because that could give an edge. So there might be only that. I know that I also hear that the July 10th, that's when apparently players can report to their teams, and then that's when training camp begins. I know that there's a quarantine, but there is word that the Canadian government, in terms of the border, that they're going to waive the quarantine if you're fully vaccinated, and that's just the civilians. So I'm assuming that a lot of athletes, or even in the U.S., they might be fully vaccinated already. So I just hopefully There hasn't heard anything about any contingency plans. I mean, the league has to be prepared for it just in case if someone gets sick with this, but that's all I can say. I guess the other thing to touch on is that there's still some rules, speculation on how the seeding worked. I mean, there is some rumors that they were going to look at putting everyone in one division and then have 8 teams. I mean, it seems silly to have 8 teams make the playoffs at 9, but I think I'm hearing that they're leaning towards still divisional play with the regular divisions and how they seed it, and then have the 5 games towards the Grey Cup. So I guess this means that there'll be more football news for me. Game recaps of my Calgary Stampeders this month. Although it'll be 3 weeks later, on the road to the 108th Grey Cup, where what I've done the last couple of years is I look ahead at the game ahead, the East and West semifinals, and then the East and West final, and then ultimately the big game itself, and then I break it down and give my thoughts and who I think ultimately will win, pick'em style, where I think this team will win with this percentage of confidence. So that's something to look forward to. So anyways, like I say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, home of the Flames, Hitmen, Roughnecks, and Stampeders, go Stamps go. It's been way too long since I've been at McMahon Stadium, counting and saying go horse. I think we might have to we'll have to get the knock off the rust with that. But what I mostly do on my YouTube channel is I talk Calgary sports, recap games and stories, and looks like there's going to be games and stories with the CFL coming soon after the Stampede. But I also do a variety of non-sports content like personal vlogs, attempt to comedy, and I guess there will be sharing some more experience than on the road or a sporting event. Especially, let's say, the home opener, Labor Day, when the Jets fly over. I guess I'll be looking forward to that here shortly. And then I've been doing some more vlogging on the go. And lately I've been revisiting schools from my past. And I plan on getting that done just before the Stampede. And by the looks of it, I'm going to have to try to get some of my other secondary content made before the Stampede, because I'm anticipating that after the Stampede, I'm going to be doing some more Calgary sports stuff. I mean, football coming back, and then the NHL with the off season, the draft, free agent frenzy, and I guess the expansion draft as well, and same with the Calgary Roughnecks. So as I wrap it up, it's after that all sounds like it'd be interesting to watch, to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey. You know what you do, just make sure you hit like and subscribe. I also have my other social media links down in the description below. So yeah, I'm just glad CFL's back. I mean, still not under ideal circumstances, but we definitely missed it last year, and I'm going to say I definitely need it for my mental space, that going back to sport events, and once I get to go back to games at McMahon Stadium and the Saddledome, I'm going to say the healing process mentally will start to begin, and somewhat, get back to, this thing called normal life and interacting with other human beings without being scared. Thanks, media. So we'll leave it at that. So anyways, like I say, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.